All right, so whether it's animals or vegetables, a good fence is worth whatever you pay for it. And even early on in our farming, we really put a big investment into our fence for deer. And it's pretty much the same thing. We're putting in a fence here for pigs and chickens, but the idea is the same. It's just the deer fence is taller. But having it put in professionally, or you doing it and doing it professionally, is really important, because once you put it in, you can forget about it when it's done right. So the structure is put in first, and that's with really good posts. I am certified organic, and these are treated posts, but as long as you're not growing something on them, right? If you're like using this and making a pea trellis, you're okay. If it's just the border of your property, it's not affects anything. You're good. Let your certifier know so that you can work it out with them. I just told them it was going to be 10 feet for the vegetables, and they were okay with it. But you put in really heavy duty, great posts, at least 2 feet into the ground, nice and straight. Set up your corners, right? And these are put in with a pin and then pulled nice and tight, right? And there's pins that hold these things on either side. And then you're using nice fencing wire to hold the whole thing together. And this thing's become rock solid. We've had fences here before we were here, that have been here 15, 16 years, and they still look like the day they were put in. And that's the difference, because we have done, where we put it in ourselves and then we're constantly mowing under it and everything else. So once the structure's in and we have all the posts in and everything's lined up, then the fence is actually stretched. It's a high tensile fence, so the horizontals are the high tensile part. So this is the fencing, right? This is for the pigs, so it's only 4 feet high. For my deer fence, I used 5 feet plus 2 hot wires, electrified wires. This is not going to need anything, the pigs can't jump. This is just 2-inch, but you see all of these wires are the high tensile part, the ones that are horizontal, and then there's just woven up and down. And you can get this in any spacing, but I do recommend the high tensile. These guys are putting it in with a skid steer and this contraption to stretch it out. But you can actually do it with a pickup truck, and they have a grabber will grab onto it. You just pull back with the pickup, stretch it out, hammer it in. We'll show how these guys do it, but you can do it with a pickup. We just attach that maybe to your hitch or something and just stretch out the fence that way. And you can stretch it out so it goes right along the ground, which is what I did with both the deer fence, and we're going to do it with the pig fence. With the pig fence, I'm adding an extra thing of barbed wire, so there'll be no silly business with digging under the fence, which we don't want. And it's, the supplies aren't that expensive. I think this whole roll is, a few $100s, but it's a 300-foot roll. So it's not the most expensive stuff, but it's peace of mind. Since we put in our deer fence, we've never had a deer inside, except when someone left the gate open once and the deer couldn't get out. And the amount of money that was costing us, it made sense to put it in right. So you can definitely do it yourself. Rent some equipment to put in those posts, because digging them out, forget it. Unless you have the most perfect soil in the world that you can just, scoop it all out and not hit any rocks or anything. But rent some equipment to get the post holes in, and you should be good, and you can definitely do it. And take your time, put it, do work in stages, put it, make sure you map it out so where all your corners are going to be and all your H's and all your braces are going to be. I built this to be able to feed the pigs and get them to market without a lot of hassle. So the woven will actually come right by the back of it, and then we'll just cut out this part. And what this is it's a platform with a ramp. And from the day I get my pigs, I feed them in here, right? So I put a little step ladder over here, And the food is actually, we store over here in a metal can. So all we do is just grab some food, go up the step ladder, feed the pig, and the pig will be there waiting, right? It'll just be waiting, see you coming over and be waiting for the food. Then when it comes to their fateful day, we just take the back of this off, right? You see it's just braced in here, and this slides out. And the pickup, this is at the perfect height for the pickup, and the pickup just pulls right back to it. And I have a cage that I put in the back of the pickup, and they'll just walk in, right? I might put a piece of plywood down so it looks exactly like here, and then I just feed them in the back of the pickup. They walk right into the back of the pickup. I close the cage, and we're off to market, no muss, no fuss. Before this thing, it was, there's a lot of silly nonsense that went on trying to get the pigs loaded. And with this, it's no problem. You just got to build it heavy duty, using nice big pieces of wood. If you're good with metal, if you can make it out of metal, that would be even better. I've thought about it, but for now it works really, really well. And since we've had this, it's really been no problem. And this is the cage I put in the back of the pickup. It fits 2 pigs, no problem, and they'll both walk right in. And I just bring that to market, and then when I get there, I have a fold-out ramp, and they just walk right out, and low stress.